Here, we have a group of 3 Nayanmars, KOTPULIYAR, KOOTRUVAR, KARI. KOTPULI Nayanar Puranam. KOTPULIYAR was an army commander at Nattiyathankudi in Solanadu. He used the liberal remuneration he received from the king for buying heaps of paddy to prepare the holy food offerings to Shiva in various temples. Pingahirdam Koyil Thurum Thiruvamudin Padiperuga Sennal Malai Kuvadaga Cheiduvarum Tirupani. Once, when he was called upon by the king to lead an army to a distant place, he collected the paddy required by the temples during his absence and sealed it safely in a place. He told all his relatives and servants, firmly but politely, "This is meant for my lord. Anyone who even thinks about touching them will be punished." As luck would have it, after his departure, the village was struck by a severe famine. Left with no alternative, his relatives used up the paddy to feed themselves, thinking that they could always replace it later. Kutramara Pingodupam Yena Kudu Kulaithu Alittar. KOTPULIYAR on his return was shocked. He sent for all his people to assemble in his house in the pretext of giving them worthy gifts. Once everyone was in, he killed all of them mercilessly. Valla aanai maruthu amudubadi azhitha marakkilayai kollade viduvena. When the watchman lifted up a baby and said that the poor one hadn't even touched the paddy, KOTPULIYAR promptly tossed it up, saying, "But it had drunk the milk from its mother who had eaten," and received it back on his sword, which cut the baby into 2 halves. A ghastly scene, no doubt. Even the compassionate Lord couldn't perhaps bear it any longer. He appeared before KOTPULIYAR and said, "May you and all your relatives come and join us in heaven." Namudan anai endru evi எழுந்து அருளினார். Secular justifies the action, saying that KOTPULIYAR severed only the sins committed by his relatives. Thīya vinaipavam thunippar. This episode is a lesson for everyone not to misappropriate properties meant for temples, even temporarily. KOOTRUVAR Nayanar Puranam. KOOTRUVAR was a minor chieftain of Thirukkalandai. He was like a Kootruvan, Yama, the god of death to his enemies. In course of time, with his own valor and determination, coupled with the grace of God, he soon amassed a lot of wealth and all the 4 wings of an army, elephant corps, cavalry, chariots, and foot soldiers. Let's say every insignia of a king except for the crown. Mudi ondrum ஒழிய அரசர் திருவெல்லாம் உடையராயினார். So he went to Thillai and approached the priests over there to decorate him with a crown. They politely declined, for it is done only for those of the Chembian or Chola family. Out of fear, all of them, except one family to take care of the deity and the crown, left for Cheranadu. Disappointed, KOOTRUVAR prayed to the dancing lord at Thillai to place his holy feet on his head instead of the crown. Adiyen thanakku mudiyaga petra peru malarpadam pera vendum. And the ever benevolent Lord obliged him in his dream. Satisfied, KOOTRUVAR then spent his days and years dedicating his life to the service of Shiva at various temples till he attained his lotus feet. KARI Nayanar Puranam. Kariyar was fortunate to be born at Thirukkadavur, one of the holiest of Saivite places. Thirukkadavur is so considered because this is one of the 8 places where Shiva showed his valor. Atta Veerattanam, or Ashta plus Veeram plus Sthanam. Shiva killed Yama for the sake of his young devotee Markandeya. Kalanai Kalal Kainda Idam. All the 3 authors of Devaram have sung about this place, தேவார மூவர் பாடல் பெற்ற ஸ்தலம். குங்கிலியக்கலைய நாயனார் was also born here. உய்ய வந்த தேவநாயனார் who authored திருக்கழிற்றுப்படியார் was also born here. Above all, this is the place where Abhirami Pattar lived and composed one of the most popular devotional works, Abhirami Andadi, in praise of Abhirami, the consort of Amudakadeswarar. People flock here to perform their 60th, 70th, 75th and 80th birthdays pujas to get wealth, good health and longevity. Kariyar edited and compiled Kari Kovai, which he took to the three Chera, Chola, Pandya kings and explained to them. All the riches that he got from them as gifts were used by him to build several temples. Sangaranar inidu amarum thanangal pala samaittar. Leaving behind his fame in this world, he reached Kailayam with his body. வாய்ந்த மனம் போலும் உடம்பும் வடகையிலை மலை சேர்ந்தார்.